Hi, and thank you for being here for this Wednesday's program. It's falling on the 14th, and that's getting close to putting us halfway through the very last month of December. The official start of winter is also a week away from today. That's calendar-wise. We're going to call it official as of now. We've been talking about it for days, but it's ramped up or down if you really want to get the direction correct as far as where temperatures are going to go. We're still talking about a big blast of Arctic air, frigid temperatures, big blast already moving into the area, and by tomorrow you're going to very well know it's here. The newly adjusted daytime highs tomorrow are in the teens, ladies and gentlemen. Still single-digit lows for tomorrow night. Wind chills down close to zero for a lot of us. And then, if that's not enough, it gets active thereafter. We're talking about a series of freezing rain. It's going to be followed by just a good soaking rain by the time the weekend rolls around. And then back to some wintry mix and then an all-snow event towards the end. There'll be accumulation. But it is definitely going to be a wintry ride over the course of your forecast. And I've got in much more detail exactly what and close to when we can expect to see all the big changes coming in our area. I never, like I do it all too often, I never like starting off the show with any sort of an apology or call it an excuse, but sometimes they have to be made and given. That last night, as you all well know if you were here, just a case of biting off a little more than I could chew, so to speak. That happens from time to time, but a great deal of news and a great deal of time spent out in the field. And when it came time to edit, and of course that meant I was under the gun time-wise and just barely got our headlines on for last evening. Now that also was coupled with a technical glitch at Foothills last night that kept the 11 o'clock replay from showing. Last night's programming is already on my YouTube channel and on our website, so you can go and catch all of our headlines. And if you missed last night's stories, we certainly hope you will. We did have a wonderful story about the Big Sandy Penitentiary. Federal penitentiary employees who brought some wonderful gifts over to some wonderful kids. And then we followed that up with a little interview that was very well done by a local elementary school principal about our Family Resource Youth Service Centers. And he said it very well, and I didn't even edit it at all. It was very well said about what a big role those directors play, those men and women in Magoffin County and elsewhere too, but in Magoffin County at our resource centers in each of our schools. So if you can, go online, check that out, and then also had coverage, of course, of the fiscal court meeting from yesterday afternoon. With all of that said, tonight should be smooth sailing. We've got everything ironed out for now. However, we do have the terrible duty this evening of passing along to you a report. Just a few moments, we'll speak with the sheriff whose department is handling the investigation, the case in regards to the two-vehicle crash early this morning on the Mountain Parkway that has claimed the life of a relatively young Magoffin County man. We'll take you to the scene, speak with authorities there, and find out what happened and what I can share with you in just a few moments. In addition to that, we have more on the appeals cases, if you will, from the three defendants which were sentenced in the vote buying trial here in Magoffin County. A few Hornet basketball highlights, just a few, but I've got some good ones to show you and some scores there. We'll talk briefly about the nativity scene in Pikeville. It's quickly going viral. I think Miss Tiffany Sparks, who shared the video, that has since, of course, put an end to a nativity scene at the Pikeville Medical Center. That video now well over 130,000 views, I believe, and quickly climbing. We'll get to all of that and all this other news that is before me before I leave you for this evening. We'll go ahead and start off right now with that tragic accident. It was a crash this morning in the early morning hours. Just before 5 o'clock this morning was when the Wolfe County Sheriff's Department responded to the scene. It was westbound. It was a two-car crash that has claimed the life of a Magoffin County young man, a son, father, and husband, all as well. Funeral services are being made in his honor at this hour. While we will have that information as much as is available in just a few moments, let me now take you to the scene. We'll speak with Sheriff Christopher Carson of the Wolfe County Sheriff's Department, and he tells us everything he can about how the accident is believed to have happened at this time. The site of the crash was just feet from the 45-mile marker on the Mountain Parkway. That would also put the site just into the Wolfe County area where the four-laning begins. Traveling west on the Mountain Parkway, most everyone familiar obviously with where the current two-lane ends, and it widens to a four-lane and expands to a 60-mile-per-hour speed limit. It's at the top of that first hill when you enter this area that the crash took place. In fact, it's the location specifically that may be one of several contributing factors. That's still under investigation, but it's just as the hill crests to where visibility of a vehicle in front of you, one that may be moving at a much slower pace, would be greatly reduced. It's also an area where deer are a problem, and which also may have been a problem last night as the driver, Mr. Howard, was attempting to avoid a deer in the westbound or fast lane. The speed also possibly a contributing factor.
He was westbound. It was a black Ford Focus '07 model, and the log truck and trailer was going westbound also, that he made contact with when he swerved to miss a deer, what it looks to be. When the first deputy arrived on the scene, the deer was laying there in the fast lane where the car had swerved and made contact with the truck. They was the ambulance already here, and they already had him loaded in the ambulance and was working with him. The driver went on down the road a short distance to a wide spot and pulled over. He said he thought he'd blowed some tires out. And he got out and checked his trailer, and there wasn't nothing, no tires blowed out, but he could see where there was something that made contact with a bar on the back of his trailer, and it broke it loose. And then he seen lights flashing up this way, and he walked all the way from the other end of the stretch back here to see what was going on.
Sheriff Carson says it's an area all too well known for deer crossing the mountain parkway. Something I can attest to, seeing at least 4 or 5 carcasses just in a short few miles in this area.
It's very, very dangerous with the deers. We have had numerous contacts, people hitting deers here in the last, probably since when deer season came in. All we can tell is like where the car had swerved and probably made contact with the log trailer. We're not sure that speed or whatever had a factor with it or not. I can't say at this time.
Once again, the deer was believed to have already been struck by a vehicle and lying in the fast lane when 37-year-old Brian Douglas Howard encountered it, and in a maneuver to try to avoid collision with that, swerved into the rear of that loaded log truck. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. We're making calls to the federal court clerk's office in regards to trying out some more details about the guidelines, timeframes, things of that nature, if you will, in regards to now the appeals, 3 of which have now officially been filed by all 3 Magoffin Countyans who are part of what is still said to be an ongoing election fraud investigation in Magoffin County. Sentenced on December the 1st, just a day or so later, Tammy Jo Reisner, surprisingly given her sentence and credit for time served, also filed an appeal, as did Magistrate Gary Rooster Reisner. Reisner's attorney indicating that he will be resigning from his position as Magoffin County Magistrate for the good or betterment of the county in the coming days, still not having done so, but was sentenced, of course, to, as we know, 33 months and 550 hours of probation. During his probationary period, he cannot have any sort of involvement in any sort of political campaign. His sentence, of course, could not or did not mandate anything about him continuing to serve as Magoffin County Magistrate before reporting to prison. As for Magoffin County Court Clerk, Deputy Court Clerk, and husband of Court Clerk Renee Arnett Shepard, Larry Shepard has since filed an appeal. They had 14 days to do so, and has since filed his appeal through his attorney, Jason Michael Nemus. Shepard, too, remaining on the job and at work, if you will, evident by yesterday's Magoffin County Fiscal Court coverage, in which he was there conducting his normal secretarial duties alongside Magistrate Gary Rooster Reisner, who is also in attendance and had input and voted in yesterday's meeting as well. In some headlines on tap for tomorrow night's program, Harlow Back of McGoffin County, who has been in jail now, of course, for some time on drug-related charges, sentenced to more than 20 years, did have a court hearing earlier today attempting to appeal his case. I've got some details on that. We'll share those with you tomorrow. I've also got a few pictures coming in literally at this time about another wonderful good deed or deeds done by our Sagersville Masonic Lodge for some kids who have been in their seat at school each and every day thus far this year. Just a few things that we're working on. I've also got more headlines to come in just a few moments, but right now, a few things, more than a few things happening on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. First off, a reminder that the South McGoffin Fire Department is going to be chauffeuring Santa around this Saturday on their Santa run. Now, they're going to leave the fire department at 5 o'clock Saturday, and this is the direction they're going to head. So you need to be out watching for them because they're firemen. They're pretty much on time, and we know Santa is, right? But at 5:15, they plan on being at the mouth of Salt Lick, and then 5:25, the mouth of Long Creek, then at 5:35, the mouth of Buck Creek, and every few minutes thereafter, it's Whiteley and Trace at 5:42 at the 1502, the Forks of the Road. 6:30, they plan on being at Howard's Branch and Sulphur Springs. 6:45, the mouth of Bull and Brushy. By 7, they're going to hit the county line at Obie Howard's there in Spruce Pine. At 7:15, they'll start up Main Licking. By 8 o'clock, they'll be coming back to the fire department. And in case you missed them or just want to try to get a word in Santa's ear, they'll be back at the fire department at 8 o'clock. I just got word about the Christmas play that's going to be held this weekend, Sunday evening, actually, at Hope in the Cross Church on Burning Fork. That's right, come celebrate the true meaning of Christmas with everyone and all of their friends who hopefully will be showing up to bring someone with you to the Christmas play at Hope in the Cross, Sunday at 6:30. And a quick reminder about the Christmas Gala set for Tuesday of next week at 7 o'clock at the high school, hosted by the McGoffin County Cattle Association. My apologies. They've got entertainment provided by the McGoffin County High School Choir, Sagersville Grade School Choir, and Hands of Worship, and a wonderful turkey dinner with all proceeds, it's $12 per dinner, going toward a scholarship that will be presented to a graduating high school senior. Contact Becky Allen at the high school for tickets, or you can give her a call, of course, as well at 349-2011. And, of course, give me a call, let me know, so I can let everyone else know about your calendar announcement, birthday or anniversary. And provided by our friends at the McGoffin County Funeral Home. County-wide listings tonight include those for 80-year-old Ann Minix Williams of Sagersville, married to Jack Williams, who preceded her in death. She's survived by sons Daniel and Bart Bauer and Jackie Williams, also daughters Julie Young, Tina, and Myrtle Williams. Visitation is going to be after 6 o'clock tomorrow, all day Friday, and up until services Saturday morning at 11. Services and visitation from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. And Brian Howard, 37 of Sagersville, as we referred to earlier, passed away earlier this morning. I'm told by the McGoffin County Funeral Home that arrangements are incomplete at this hour, but will be announced soon. You can also, of course, go to their website to possibly find out more tonight or before tomorrow's program at McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com. We often cover cases of animal cruelty. Tonight is unlike any other that we have covered or covered in quite some time, or maybe even ever, as it involves a live nativity scene at the Pikeville Medical Center. More than likely you've already seen this on social media. More than 130,000 people have, or it's been viewed at least that many times. And it involves a ranching company that has been displaying this or putting on this display for a live nativity scene for the Pikeville Medical Center for a couple of decades. But after this video was captured, the nativity scene is no more, and one person has been charged. It's video that for some animal lovers can be tough to watch. Shared by Tiffany Sparks, it immediately grabbed the attention of authorities and the Pikeville Medical Center. And in fact, the nativity scene has already been canceled. The contract is null and void, and one person has been charged. We've learned that was Joseph Price of Missouri. He's facing at least one count of cruelty to animals. We know that the abuse is documented here. He can be seen kicking and hitting one of the camels, maybe some other animals. It's hard to tell. Tiffany Sparks caught this and distributed it very quickly onto social media. And that, of course, spurred the investigation by Pikeville Police as well as the Pikeville Medical Center. The Medical Center has since released a statement saying that after the president, CEO Walter May, and COO Juanita Deskins expressed their concern to the company about the safety of the animals, Maxine Hale, who owns the company, fired the employee in the video, and the contract was canceled, as well as, of course, the nativity showings. The Medical Center says that it brings a live nativity to the community every year as a reminder of what Christmas is truly about, and they've been using the 5-H Ranch to furnish the animals for the live nativity scene for over 20 years. They were under the impression they were very well thought of and respected company, or supplying animals for movies and other presentations. They even transport the animals in, do all the care. It even gave the Medical Center, as they do every year, certain guidelines and stipulations to follow in regards to the environment that the animals must be kept in. And they say that surprised, so they were surprised as much as anyone to hear about the concerns and treatment of the animals, and of course after seeing the video. The Medical Center also stating that they take very seriously the concerns that were raised about the animals' welfare, and they contacted the owners and told them that they're not going to tolerate that kind of treatment. And that while none of us here, being the Pikeville Medical Center, are experts in the care and handling of large animals, they do want them to be treated humanely and want the live nativity to be a positive spiritual experience for everyone. Once again, last night after getting done with the show, I found myself juggling a few other events. One of those was trying to catch a few highlights, of which I did, of the Magoffin County Allen Central matchup here at home. In the second quarter, Russell, too lovely, a little bounce off the glass, good for two. Lovely to Mullins, two bounces inside and an easy right-hander at the half. But a big three from Allen Central's Cameron Nelson makes it a three-point game, followed by a slick inbound pass to the shooter, Kobe Sloan, and he makes it a one-point deficit. But Magoffin County regrouped, they regrew their lead, and they pushed it back out to a win for the Hornets. Final score 64-55. The Hornets advanced to 4-2 and advanced to an unannounced road game listed for tomorrow night. Now, as for the Lady Hornets, they are going to be back in action this Friday night. They've been off since last Friday when they were at Belfry and came back, sadly, with a loss. But they'll be facing the Paintsville Tigers on the home court of Paintsville this Friday night. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock, by the way. As for the boys, who are also going to be a part of that doubleheader, the second half of that doubleheader this Friday night, and the girls, you're not going to get to see them at home for quite some time. It's a typical run of the schedule, so to speak, this time of the year. As for the boys, they are on the road, a lot of holiday tournaments and things of that nature, and don't have another home game on the schedule until the 10th day of January. A lot of play in between, just not here at home, all on the road. The Lady Hornets, not back in action here at home. They've had one game this season, and they will be on the road a total of 10 or 11 times before their next home game, which is not until January the 13th. So those few highlights I had for you tonight, some of the few I'm going to have for a little while. Hopefully they will make it to Paintsville this Friday night. We'll wait and see. Nevertheless, here's your weather forecast as I think we'll go on to our last wrap-up of this evening. This is one we all got to pay a little bit of attention to. It's what you can refer to as a whiplash event. I mean, it's just going to be a major weather-related event. Doesn't really capture the entire scope of it in a way, because we're talking over the course of several days. This is not a 1 or 2 day deal, and a whole lot of factors going in. Of course, we know we've got this Arctic front rolling in. We know we're going to feel a part of that tonight at 15 degrees for nighttime lows. Now, keep in mind, there's a slight chance of some flurries maybe after 11 or 11:30 tonight under those mostly cloudy skies. And you have to keep in mind as well, the winds are starting to come in with this front out of the west-northwest at 5 to 11 to 17 mile per hour gusts. That means wind chill factors tonight. That will also continue to be an issue into your Thursday. So we're talking 15 tonight for nighttime lows. We're talking about highs tomorrow, 3 degrees more. Sunny, but cold, brutally cold. Steady temperatures around 18 degrees if you're in the viewing area. Wind chills, as we still have a slight wind out of the west-northwest at 7 to 10 or 11 for your Thursday at 32 degrees tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day to stay in, if at all possible. Be a little late getting out in the morning. Be a little early getting home. That's some good advice. Maybe your employer might not think so. But nevertheless, 7 degrees tomorrow night on your Thursday, mostly cloudy, and wind chills, of course, are still going to be down close to the 0 mark. Again, the winds will be lighter than they are going to be tomorrow day, but when you drop off 11 degrees from an 18, and then you factor in only a few miles an hour, you're getting close to 0. We rebound, and then it just goes crazy. Friday, mostly cloudy, 33 degrees. Wind chills early that Friday morning. They're still going to be around 2 or 3 degrees early. Finally, we'll get up to about 33 degrees midday and thereon. By Friday night, we get hit again. First off, a chance of some freezing rain before 10 o'clock. Then a chance of freezing rain between 10 and midnight, and then rain likely thereafter as temperatures climb. Yeah, that's not a misprint. I have them, but that's not one. 33 Friday, getting warmer during the course of the overnight. Temperatures start to climb, so what could be a little bit of a mixture of rain or freezing rain there early on Friday, or early on Friday night, I should say, well, will be a soaking rain thereafter. We could pick up a significant amount of rainfall Friday night and into your Saturday. And then Saturday, temperatures are still climbing, and in fact, I won't be surprised at all if we don't hit 60 or a tick or two above on your Saturday. It's still going to be a rainy day, though. Rain likely before 7, showers likely thereafter, continuing in a more scattered form, but 59 to 60 degrees for daytime highs, and then we swing back the other way. There's that whiplash again that we're talking about. Saturday night, rain showers before 4, and then rain and snow thereafter as we will get back below freezing. We'll see a little mix and some changeover. By Sunday, I think there's still going to be some juice in this. Moisture still in this system at 33 and 17 for your highs and lows on Sunday. That's snow showers early, and then maybe some mix during the day. And by Sunday night, a 20% chance of what will be all snow if we see any by that night as we get well below freezing, which is just barely where we're going to be for daytime highs. Monday of next week, it starts to dry up and calm down, but still daytime highs right at 31. So, a word of caution, most definitely, and definitely warranted. And we'll definitely be back tomorrow night to tell you just how cold it's been for all of us by then, and how we hope that everyone has kind of gotten ready for it. Lastly, before I leave you, just a quick reminder, last night's programming, in case you missed it, because I was very hard-pressed for time yesterday and certainly last night when it came time to producing, has already been posted to our YouTube channel and to our website. So keep that in mind. Go check them out. A couple of wonderful stories. Also, of course, coverage of the fiscal court meeting from Magoffin County on yesterday. Our website and YouTube channel back up and running and should stay that way for, I hope, forever. We'll see how that goes. It was off for a couple of weeks due to a few technical difficulties, which we have finally remedied. With that said, stay in, stay warm, and be prepared to do so tomorrow if you can. I've got meetings, Johnson County Fiscal Court, Paintsville City Council, and some other things that I hope will keep me indoors and in front of the desk most all of tomorrow, because it's going to be a cold one. But keep in mind, if you haven't taken those precautions in regards to pets, people, and other things that you need to do, now's the time to do so. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.